I'd like to be able to show you something that I think you're going to find very interesting, and I believe you will find this to be something you've never heard or seen before. It's based on the work that I do, which is called Primal Reflex Release Technique, and I'm going to share with you one of the most primal techniques that we use for a muscle that I'm sure you found in most of your patients and clients is involved, and that's the sternocleidomastoid, the SCM, if you will. So the SCM is a very primal muscle, one of the most primal muscles because it's associated with the startle reflex. And the startle reflex, which was the moral reflex at birth, is one of the most primal of all reflexes. It's the one that's elicited when we're in danger. And the head usually turns to the sound or the sight of whatever it is that is causing us to be startled. So by the way, the SCM and the upper trap have the same nerve supply, and you also know that the upper trap also is very commonly involved, if not almost always involved in people. So it's not a coincidence that the SCM and the upper trap would both have findings of what you might consider trigger points or knots or tension in the muscles, whichever way you want to think of it. But in fact, if you palpate, as I'm palpating the SCM here on this side, you can check, and by the way, there's two heads to the SCM, but you can palpate along the muscle and see if you can tell if there are any trigger points or knots in the muscle that could be causing either symptoms associated with the head and neck, but also very commonly can be causing headaches and symptoms up in the head as well with a referred pain pattern. So again, this is very important that you find and resolve this, and rather than do it in the ways that you might, I'm going to show you something that will only take you a matter of a couple of seconds to do, and it's based on the concept of using primal reflexes as we do in the work that I've developed. And it's based on the fact that this reflex that I'm going to show you is called the rooting reflex, R-O-O-T-I-N-G. And it's based on the term rooting is what an infant does right after birth. The infant wants to root for the nipple or the breast to breastfeed. So this is a reflex that's present at birth and stays active for about 3 to 4 months. If you look at the neurodevelopmental literature, they'll talk about that it'll last for 3 to 4 months, that this reflex that I'm going to show you in a minute how to elicit is present. There are cases where it can last up to a year, the literature says. Well, I beg to differ. You're going to see and you will experience that this whole concept of the disappearance of this reflex is really a misnomer, and in fact the ability to still use this reflex to downregulate or to relax the SCM is still present at any age. You will not see the head turn to the breast or turn to the site of stimulation, but in fact the effect of that still has the ability to reciprocally inhibit the opposite SCM. So to show you this, I want to give you the background, but to show you, let's pretend that Eric has an NSR in his left SCM, and I'm palpating along the belly to feel what that's like. And so let's assume it's a left SCM, and frequently it's bilateral, so you can do this on one side and then do it on the other side as well. So the treatment is very simple. You can use anything you want that's very light touch. You could use a feather, you could use just a little Kleenex tissue that you wad up. I just use my finger, and I'm going to come in and stimulate in the area of reference. Again, this is in the literature, the neurodevelopmental literature. The area of stimulation is around the cheek and particularly the corner of the mouth. So you can stimulate just like this, just eliciting, just pretending as if you were the nipple going across the cheek and or the corner of the mouth. And what this would normally do in an infant, the infant's head would turn to this side, which would be facilitating the right SCM and thereby reciprocally inhibiting the left SCM. As I said to you a moment ago, we do not see the head turn in the adult, or even past 3 to 4 months or at the outside a year. We don't see the head turn, but in fact, these muscles still respond this way with the reciprocal inhibition occurring, which is what we really want to achieve, because that is so primal that even though there's other ways to release the SCM, in my opinion, after 4 decades of experience and trying everything else, there's nothing more primal than doing it this way. And that's true throughout the body, where I have other techniques similar to this that can be used throughout the body to be able to relax muscles, increase joint motion, and then it has a more lasting value because you're really doing essentially a neural reboot. Not unlike if your computer gets hung up, you push a certain button or you do whatever you need to do, and it reboots. And as long as you don't have, a problem like corrupted data or something like that, your computer is up and running again as if there was nothing wrong. Same thing is true here. So again, just to repeat, you can just lightly stimulate. The lighter the better, and you can do it randomly. Be sure you get to the corner of the mouth, because the corner of the mouth is very, very powerful for this. And this would normally elicit the mouth opening for the infant. That normally the head would turn, the mouth would open, and try to then root for the breast or the nipple, if you will. So I'd like you to give this a try. This is in response to a lot of requests that I've had for people who've said, can you demonstrate to me some of these things that I can actually try in my practice and see the results? And I'd like to hear from you and hear how this works for you. So please get back to me, share with me how this works, and if you see this to be what I've shown you to be, then I'd like you to consider that there's many other places in the body that there are concepts like this that we can use that have the same profound effect in changing range of motion, pain, speed of motion, spontaneity of motion, all of these things within a matter of just a few seconds. That's all it took to do this. And so good luck to you. If you found this demonstration useful, then I think you're going to find that the home study course that I have available on this link below would be worth giving a try, because you get to try it for 30 days risk-free. We've sold thousands of these over the period of the last couple of decades, and we've only had very few people ask for a refund. So this would give you a chance to have other areas of the body that you can try using PRRT with, and you can either get it as a hard copy or an online version. So again, all you need to do is just click the link below, and this will take you to the page to give you the details. Thank you.